we need some pro-death and like a strike through cancel sign T-shirts. Maybe I'll make a cup or something like that. Like literally, I've talked to people, normal, average, smart, intelligent people, and if you try to talk to them about living longer or longevity or therapies, and they're just like, yeah, I don't really care. I'm just like, I mean, or they have an opinion otherwise of like, I don't want to live forever. The whole death gives life meaning stuff. A lot of that we'll go through too, but it's just I don't get it. I guess if you're not a supporter of living longer, then I guess don't be a detractor. Is that the best thing you can do?
Yeah,
At least
definitely.
just be neutral, because the other way is setting us back. It's hard enough for people to think, oh, I can live a longer lifespan and stuff. But once you start going the other way, it gets kind of weird. Like, you don't want other people to live longer. You don't want people to have a choice. I think we should have a choice.
Yeah, for 100%. And it's kind of selfish to deny people the right to have access to not only improving medical technology, but also the ability to live a longer and healthier life. Just because you have a fear of living longer, or you don't like the idea of because some people just aren't happy. But I think whenever people get to a position where they're really suffering and they're really dying, they're going to change their mind. And a lot of people who have this view that they don't want to live longer are just going to be, like I said, changing their mind whenever they get to a position where they really need this research most.
Yeah, I mean, the phrase goes, a healthy man wants all kinds of things, and a sick man only wants one thing. If you get to that spot too, and you don't want to be thinking back, oh, I wish I would have, I wouldn't have railed against the people who were trying to support medical research, do all this stuff. Not that there's a huge crowd of people doing it, because I think most people don't even take it seriously in the first place to even have a position to even, be pushing back against it. But just the disbelief you get from people that I think it's just because, everyone before us has died at a certain age. Lifespans have went up and down, and people just can't wrap their head around, especially, older generations, which, I mean, that they have a good point. That's something we should go through too. One of the things is people who, they're not in their 20s, 30s, 40s, they're in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And yeah, there's no medical research that's going to be around anytime soon that's going to be able to, extend their health span, most likely, unless we have some crazy breakthroughs coming up. And those are the people with all the money, right? All the boomers, all the people who've accumulated all this wealth throughout the time, who can be contributing to the sources, and different kinds of charities and initiatives and foundations like this. We can't get them on board, or it's much harder to, because they themselves don't have that selfish desire, and a healthy selfish desire, to fund such a thing, because it's not going to help them, most likely. And they're right in a way. But what about their grandkids? What about their families and stuff? You got to getting people to think long term. Yeah, nothing new for this community for sure.
Yeah, totally. And that's why I feel like Hex and longevity, like I was saying before, crypto and longevity have so much to do with each other, but Hex specifically, because we're so long-term minded, I feel like really has a connection to the longevity community that no other crypto has. But it's so important that we fund this stuff whenever we're young, or whenever, because we're going to need it 20 years from the future. So like you're saying, there's not enough young people who are doing it, and there's a lot of rich, like, billionaires are starting to come around to the idea, but Elon Musk doesn't like the idea of living longer. I listened to him and heard him say it, that he is not into longevity research at all, which is just such a shame. And we really need these people to come around to it, and we really need the younger generation to start working on it, because those are really the people who will be able to put in the time and solve these problems.
Most people seem to be stuck between, they're either too young to care about death, or too old to think it'll save them. So
yes, exactly.
We need to get people more towards the middle of like, hey, let's work towards the future. Maybe it'll save you. If it won't save you, maybe it'll save the people you love. At least you'll get that. That's a good consolation prize, right?
Yeah, exactly.